right, YouTube, let's jump into this now. This is one of my most exciting videos today. And the reason why is because it's a new and up and coming company called Fusion Firearms. And they're in collaboration with Ermox, and they've created one of the most interesting pistols on the market right now. I present to you the XF Pro. This pistol was a dream to shoot, and I had a blast out there at the range. And you'll see in the videos how much fun we had out there. First off, let's go ahead and check, make sure there's absolutely nothing in the chamber right here at all. And also nothing in the mags. But to get back to the video right here, I had a blast at the range with this, guys. Check it out. Check out that color, the way it looks. Now, of course, they do have other colors that you can choose from on the website, and you can see that right now on the screen. And make sure you visit their website. It is a plethora of other items that you can choose from on there. This is a full metal body pistol, and of course there are pros and cons when it comes to this pistol. I want to give a big shout out to Fusion Firearms for sending this over to the channel and allowing us to be able to do a review on it. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know now, I know what you've heard so far already on the internet. This is not a Glock clone, and I'm probably gonna be saying this throughout the video, but it's not. It is not a Glock clone. The only thing Glock about this pistol is the magazine, right? If you get a Glock magazine, it's compatible with that. It also comes with magazines that look like Glock magazines. And also you can put Glock barrels in this thing also. So that's about the only thing that's Glock-ish about this pistol. I think you guys are gonna be really surprised on how well this pistol performs. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this review. So here we have it. And of course, you all already seen the black box that the case comes in. It's really nice and packaged, and that is highly appreciated, Fusion. All right, let's jump into the case real quick. The case is not TSA approved. Of course, you see it right here. And I wouldn't say that it's a well-made case, but it's pretty decent. So that's another good thing that they give you this right here for the money. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it just kind of unlatches right there. That's it. Okay. Right here, you do have your safety and instruction manual. And it's a bunch of information in here you guys can go through. You know, a lot of pictures. That's pretty cool. They put pretty good pictures and things like that in there. So you get this, and there's the baby right there, guys. All right, let's go ahead and go through the case here. First off, we'll look at the mags. They almost look like Glock mags, but they're not. So this must be their own manufactured mags. At the bottom is blank. That's it right there. And on this one, you get 15, and of course, plus 1. And the firearm, you get 1 more right here, which is 2. Pretty awesome. And I'm going to show you guys some mags that I'll be using also with it, especially at the range. So that's that right there. Looks like they give you some test fired brass right here, you know, where they test it out and make sure it's working before they send them out. So that is awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's keep going here. This is the firearm. And of course, we're going to get into this in a few minutes. That's it. What else is in here? You have your optic plates, okay? And of course, they give you RMSC and RMR optic plates. But I want to show you something about this, guys. These are pretty damn thick, all right? So from what I've heard, when I got in contact with them, they'll be coming out with some thinner optic plates. So that's some good news. And I really, really hope, you know, some of these other businesses jump on board to try to create aftermarket plates for them, you know, that's really thin. If they can pull that off, honestly, this gun will almost be damn near perfect. But the plates are pretty thick, and you'll see how they look once I put them on right here. There's the descriptions on the plates right here, and I'm gonna come kind of close so you can see it. And right there, it tells you the compatibility of both of them right there, okay? So these are the plates, and they give you screws. I butchered this right here. So here are the screws right here. And this, I think this is for the optic plate, just in case you got to put more screws in the optic plate right here. So, and what else is in here? And right here, you get a cleaning set. I heard something come out. Yeah, you have your tools right there, and you have a little cleaning set right here. You set that aside, and there goes your brushes and your rod. So you get all of that in this package for the price is pretty damn good, man. All right, so let's put the tools up. And this little cap is kind of hard to come off, so I just kind of just put it on there just a little bit because it was kind of difficult to get it off in the very beginning, but that's what you get. Oh, and I almost forgot these right here at the top. You already seen it in a somewhat of an intro of me introducing the gun. So you do get aluminum metal side grips. You get one, and then you get one more right here. All right. And it'll be at the top of the case right there. You'll see it. Probably already seen it already. So that's what you get. And they seem like they're pretty well made too, that they'll last a long time. And we're going to talk about the grips too. Some things I don't like about the grips, but we'll talk about it. Not a big deal. The XF Pro 9mm striker fire pistol is very interesting. Let's take a look at it real quick. Now, first off, we're going to go ahead and start with the specs here. Okay. The length is 7.29 inches. The slide width, all right, is a little over 1 inch. Okay. So even though this is not a crazy big full-size gun, it is a heavier gun and it's a little bit on the thicker side, but not too bad. The weight is 26.05 ounces, but of course, we're going to go ahead real quick and we're going to weigh this to see what it is. All right, so the scale is set to 0, as you can see right there. Here's the pistol. So of course, we're going to weigh it first with the mag in. These are the mags that come with the firearm. Then we'll go ahead and weigh it without the magazine. So here it is. It's going to come in on the heavier side, you all. All right, so here it is right here. It came in at 1 pound, 15.2 ounces. So it is on the heavier side, guys. All right, let's take the mag out real quick. It is set back to 0. Let's set it back on the scale and see if we can get closer to the weight that they were talking about. And here it is right here. So it came in at 1 pound, 12.9 ounces on the scale. And of course, it weighs a little bit more due to its aluminum frame factor. So it's going to be like that. Now, regarding the weight on this, when you get it, it's going to feel a lot different from your polymer frame and metal slide frame firearms, okay? You're going to feel the durability and the weight of it. Now, we should really appreciate that it has a aluminum frame, that CNC machine, and Tenifer finish, okay? So I think this thing right here, you can try to scratch it, and it's very hard to scratch as far as the finish, and it looks like it'll just last a long time. Now, let's talk about the pistol's optic footprint, okay? You can attach RMSC or RMR optics to it. However, these optic plates are thick, and I'm gonna pull them back out real quick so you can see them. And here they are right here. And it's going to make it extremely difficult to co-witness with your red dot unless you purchase like a suppressor height sights. I think I said that already. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what these look like on the firearm and then just, you know, give you more of a demonstration. All right, so I took the plate off right here and you can see kind of what it looks like once you take that plate, that top plate off. And then I'm gonna show you the red dot that I'll be running. And I appreciate Veridian for sending this over to the channel. You will see a full review on these red dots. These are pretty cool. It's the RFX 35, and this is it right here. So that's the unveiling. That's the red dot that's going on there. Now I'm gonna take this Picatinny mount off, so it's gonna be a lot thinner right there. And I'm gonna go ahead real quick and put it on and show you what it looks like. All right, so here it is. And the compatible optic plate that you'll be using is this Trijicon plate. This is the one. This is RMR, and it just simply fits like that, as you can see. Put it on the firearm here, and that's it. So that gives you an idea of how it looks when it's on. You see what I mean? And as far as the co-witness, you see right there, you will not be getting any co-witness unless you get suppressor high sight. So that's what I was talking about. So that's it. So if they could just come up with a thinner plate, or either if aftermarket plates can come out, man, this is a big, big winner. And so basically this is what it'll look like. If you just take it without the plate, it's gonna sit more flush to the bottom. Look at that. Look at how good that looks. Check that out. You see, and it's gonna look a whole lot better. And I'm sure the co-witnessing will be, there it is, right on point when it comes to that. So that's something right there they gotta get taken care of. And if they can, this is a big, big winner. Next up, let's look at the sights. Of course, you have the all blacked out sights in the rear, and they are serrated. So you can see that right here. I kind of love that about this gun. And then you have one sight in the front with a white dot, and they are not night sights. So I'm sure that you can change these sights out and put some night sights on there if you want. And keep in mind, these are even metal on the gun. Damn near everything on this gun is metal. So that's pretty damn cool. And your rear sights are metal too. They call these sights the fixed combat sights. Moving right along to the serrations, you can see them right there. Of course, they have the same pattern in the front and in the rear. On the other side, it's the same exact thing, front, rear, and they are not aggressive, and I really, really like that. So, you know, when you do need the rack and things like that, it gives you a nice amount of grip on the gun, rear and the front. I really, really like that. And then keep in mind too, something that a lot of people may not pay attention to, but you even have the serrations right at the top. So if you do need to crab rack your gun and press check or things like that, sometimes people rack like that. It gives you a really nice amount of grip to be able to do that. So that was pretty ingenious. Of course, you guys see that fluted barrel peeking out right there. There it is right there. And you see the color right here. You can see it off the side with the little cuts right there, which is pretty cool. And let me go ahead and give you a front view of the fluted barrel. So that's how it looks right there. And of course, we're gonna look in the inside of this pistol too and check it out. Keep in mind that you can use Glock Gen 4 barrels on this gun, okay? So again, guys, this is not a Glock clone. I repeat, this is not a Glock clone. You will see that from the internals. Once I take it apart, the lower frame, nothing like a Glock. The slide top looks a little bit more like it, but it is not a Glock clone. And that's not saying that that's anything bad, but it just is what it is when it comes to this. It's unique in its own way. So let's look at the inside real quick. All right, so this is how it looks in the inside. You even have a spring and guide rod that's metal. So you cannot beat that. A lot of these new guns and striker fire guns have those plastic rods, you know, and these just last a whole lot longer. So that's how it looks right there to give you an idea. And again, you can use the Gen 4 Glock mags on that. And this is how the lower frame looks. So it looks nothing like a Glock clone on the lower frame as far as the components in the inside. You do have metal railing right here, so make sure that you oil right in that area as far as lubrication, just so you can have a more buttery experience when you're racking the gun. Now, this was pretty interesting right here. You do have a striker indicator, similar to some of the Canics lineups and things of that nature. You see it right there, and this is kind of how it works. So you see it, if I go ahead, if I rack it, okay, it's right there, letting you know that a round has been chambered. And as soon as I pull this trigger right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that the gun is empty. As soon as I get ready to pull the trigger right here, you'll see it engage, and there it is, it disappears, okay? My finger is still on the trigger. I'm gonna go ahead, give it another rack. Let's reset, it's the reset, boom. Just like that. So that's how that works. Right here, you do have your takedown lever. It's kind of like a takedown button. So you have it right here. It is ambi. It's on the other side right there. And it's a lot different from how Glock takedown levers are. They have those small little levers, and this is a lot bigger and easier to grab onto. Now, this is really, really sweet. Right here, they have a thumb rest, or some may call it a gas pedal. So basically, when you're holding it the proper way, holding the gun, your thumb right there can rest to keep things centered. I like that. I like that a whole lot. You know, just having that right there on some guns is an actual add-on. Okay, and it costs you more money, but they went ahead and they milled it in to the actual frame of the gun. So I like that a whole lot. And if you look real close, it is textured for grip. They have a checkered texture on the right-hand side of your pistol for your index finger as far as finger placement. So while you're holding it like that, you have it right there to be able to put your finger there for safety, to let everyone know and yourself know you're not going to pull that trigger right there. So I'll let you look at that again, and that's it. So pretty cool. Of course, you do have your Picatinny rail right here for tactical lights. And I think the light that I'm going to run on this pistol is the TLR 7X. So I'm going to put that on here. That way it's flush and it gives it a really, really good look. Let's look at the trigger guard right here. And it's pretty wide. I like that if you have to wear gloves or anything like that. It doesn't have much of an undercut on the trigger guard though. But you do have serrations in the front of the trigger guard for index grip shooting for some. So basically while you're holding the gun like this, some people like to take that hand like that and just kind of put it there to stabilize everything. Another pretty attractive thing about this pistol are these side grips. I like the side grips and I just love how it matches the fluted barrel, same color. They got that colorway perfect right there. But we have some things to discuss about the grips and as far as improvements. Simply put, the grips aren't aggressive enough, guys. So it's not crazy bad, but I feel like they could have a lot more texture on the grip. How would they do that? Of course, they can make some polymer grips that's probably more texturized, or either they can make some rubberized grips that'll give you that rubber grippy feeling, you know, and just give you options. That's all we're looking for, just some extra options with this. So again, this is not a deal breaker as far as purchasing the gun, but it could have been a little bit better. And I'm gonna come closer to the screen just so you can kind of get an idea on what I'm talking about here. These are the extras that came with it. I showed you guys that in a very, very beginning, and that's how they look also. But again, that camel color is just nasty. Let's check out this magazine release button. And of course it is textured for good grip and it doesn't hurt you when you press down on that magazine release button. I like that. The only thing is it's not reversible and it's not ambi. So in the next model, they probably can pull that off, but that's it. So really easy to press. Now let's look at some mags again. So of course you have their mags that comes with the gun. They go in real good. That's how they come out, okay? They don't fly out, you know, but due to gravity, if you were gonna hold it like this, they'll come out pretty fast. So that's these mags right here. They're mags that comes with the firearm. Now I do have a OEM Glock mag right here. All right, and I got this from my Glock 19. I have plenty of these right here with the mag extension. So let's see if that fits. So that'll give you an idea, and that does. And you know what I really like about this gun? Got to be fair across the board, guys. Some guns and builds, or if you use these mag extensions, it's a lot of wiggle right here. This one doesn't hardly have any wiggle in it. So that's impressive. That was something that's really, really awesome. And I'm wondering, is it the way that, you know, the bottom of the grip is shaped right here that causes that? But it's absolutely no wiggle right there. And I think a lot of people are going to like that. Not only can you put the mag extension magazines in here, you also can put sticks in there, boys, sticks. So this is a OEM Glock stick right here, extended mag. That's it. Just wanted to show you. And that fits also. So there it is to my YNs. There you have it, man. All right, that's it right there. And I'll be shooting with these at the range just to see how they perform. But that's it. And it works. So we'll take that out. That's OEM Glock. Now let's look at some of the aftermarket that they have, which is the RWB mags. RWB. That's it right there. They look almost exactly like Glock mags, and these fit too. So they fit with no issues at all. So that should give you some ideas about your magazine choice and what you want to go with. And now for the grand finale, we're going to do the trigger pull, what you all been waiting for. So take the mag out. Let's go ahead and rack the gun real quick. Okay. And here it is right here. And of course it has a safety in there. So if you press off to the side, it will not fire. We're going to go ahead and fully press it. So this is your take up. And I kind of like this trigger. I do. Take up, that's your wall. Break. Let's reset. It should reset right there. They did a pretty damn good job on this one. Reset right there. All right, let's try it one more time for you guys. So here it is. Wall. And then that's your break. That's it, guys. And lastly here, we're gonna go ahead and weigh the trigger. So let's pull out the old school Wheeler scale. There it is right there. It's set to 0. We're gonna go ahead and pull it and see what this comes in as. They say that it comes in at about 4.5 pounds, but let's give it a test real quick. All right, so it did. It came in at 4 pounds right there. A little bit up under what was recorded. So, all right, let's rack it again. Reset. Here it is right here. All right, this one came in a little, 4.5 pounds, damn. Right there on that one. Let's rack it again. They were pretty accurate with this. Let's go ahead and do it again. And that's it right there, guys. So a little over 4.5 pounds. So I'm gonna probably agree with them as far as this trigger being 4.5 pounds. All in all, I really, really like this gun. It gives you a totally different experience of polymer and metal, you know, striker fired pistols that's on the market right now. So I really like it. I think this is a gun that'll last an extremely long time. Now, things they can change, well, of course, thinner optic plates. So I mentioned that time and time again throughout the video. And also maybe ambi slide stop. You know what I mean? So right here, you just have it on this side. Of course, if they can do it ambi as far as people who are lefties and things like that, I think that'll work out really well for them in the next model as far as the slide stop. And one more thing here, the aggressive, you know, side grips. So just to give us options on what we would actually like, maybe in the case as far as polymer texturized grips, we're gonna keep these, you know, keep the aluminum grips and also some rubberized grips. So I think that'll be pretty good options for the consumer. Now let's check it out really quick, all dressed up. So here it is, a nice little combo, guys. That's the Viridian. And again, that is the RFX 35. And I call it a red dot, but it's actually a green dot. And like I said, the review is coming soon for that bad boy. I really like their optics, their green dots. They only run green dots, not red dots. Let's see what it looks like with a mag in it. That's it with the mag. And let's see what it looks like with the mag extension. And this is the combo that I'll be running right here. So that's it, and that's what it looks like. So I wanted to bring something else to your attention about this pistol. It does not have any MIM parts at all. And for those that don't know what MIM means, M-I-M, I have it on the screen for you right now, but there's no MIM parts. And I also wanted to go ahead and show you a comparison. Since they claim that this is a so-called, and when I say they, I'm just talking about people on the internet that may not have the full details. But for those people, they think that it's a Glock 19 clone. It is not a Glock 19 clone at all. But I am going to go ahead real quick and compare it to my Glock 19 build, which is right here. And this is a Frankenstein build that I have. So it has an OEM Glock lower, Glock 19 lower, and it has a dagger slide right here. I forget what model slide that is, but that's it. So we're going to do a comparison on size real quick. So just to make this an even thing, I'm gonna go ahead and put a regular mag in it just so you can get an idea. So there's a side view right here, guys. That's the side that you're looking for. So Glock 19 build, so-called Glock clone. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do a side-by-side here so you guys can get a better idea on the length. Okay, so that's what you're looking at right there. And they are just about even when it comes to the length. Okay, now let's go ahead and do it side by side this way, just so you can get a look at the front. That's it. Let's look at it just like this. So I'm going to try to line them up as evenly as possible. And that's it right there. So that is pretty damn close. That's what you're looking at as far as size and the length and things of that nature. So gives you somewhat of a better idea of what's going on. You pretty much know what time it is. It's time to get it out to the range and see how it performs. All right, guys, we're gonna shoot 115 grain right here. This is the Monarch ammo, and these are the steel rounds. So let's see if this XP Pro can handle that, and I'm sure it can. It's been an awesome gun so far. Nice, man. I really like this gun. One thing about this gun is that it can handle recoil really good because of the distributed weight. It's so much weight in this gun, it rides like a damn Cadillac. So it helps mitigate the recoil a whole lot. And that's what I really, really like about this gun. And then when you start to add more accessories like your red dot, your tactical light, you get even more mitigation right there. Dope. All right, next up we have the ammo incorporated. 115 grain brass rounds. Let's see how the pistol responds to this type of ammo. I love doing this type of demonstration because you really get to see what's going on with the pistol, whether it'll have hangups or if it'll just respond well. All right, one little hang up there, a little bitty hang up, not bad though. So it did pretty good with this ammo. So that's two different types of ammo. And as far as materials, two different type of materials. Now let's jump into the 124 grain. And I cannot remember who it's by, but I'm about to let you know in a few minutes. All right, so this was a different type of ammunition. I've never used this before. This is the Staccato Range 124 grain, 9mm brass. So we're gonna try this out and see if the gun can handle it. I totally forgot what I had purchased, but let's get into it. I know it'll give me a little bit of more bite on this one, but let's see. Okay, I'm getting that little hang up and the trigger feels like. Yep, it did. 124 grain, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's only one small thing about this gun. Basically, sometimes I notice the trigger will get hung up. I don't know why that's the cause, but it's very, very seldom that it happens, but it get hung up every once in a while. But other than that, this thing is pretty damn awesome. I can't wait to see how the XP Pro performs on the range too. So that's gonna be really good. But other than that, I think it's a winner. I really like the fact that Fusion came in the game with this type of pistol. So it gives more options out there in the market. I really like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, y'all check it out. Let's go ahead real quick and put one of these sticks in there. For my YNs, you know I gotta do it, y'all.
It's not important. Nothing important.
So we'll put a stick in. This is an OEM Glock extended mag. So let's see if it can handle the big stick. That's what she said. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, handled it well, man. Something came back and bounced off my shoulder. I don't know what the hell that was. Yeah, handled it well. And it seeds well in there too, so it looks real good. I love the look of it. Yep, handled good. So y'all let me know in the comment section below if there's something right here that you think you just may be picking up. I think it's a winner. All right, YouTube, I'm back. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this pistol. And also let me know if you're anticipating on getting this pistol also. Keep in mind, they do have another pistol that came out, and it's their Glock Fed Mag pistol. This is a pistol that's just shaking the industry right now, and we should be getting that pistol in on the channel, the XP Pro. So be on the lookout. Don't forget to visit the description section below to click on the link to go to the campsite page so you can pick up this pistol if you like, guys. So please like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification bell so when I roll out the latest videos, you'll be able to receive them. And remember,
I'm not from this planet.